Hello everyone, this vlog is the continuation of my previous vlog where I was pulled out from a standby duty and headed to Kolkatta to operate a San Francisco flight. Today, while we get ready for the flight, we are going to talk about something many people are curious about is automation, autopilot, auto-throttle and who actually flies the aircraft. It's 12 noon now. Breakfast done, workout done, uniform getting ready, shoes polished, packing completed, lunch ordered, prayers done, and I'm all set for the flight. Whenever my family or friends see me heading out for a flight, they usually taunt me and say, "It's the autopilot that does all the work. You just pull your seat back and relax." And honestly, I don't blame them for thinking that. Because from outside, that's exactly how it looks. But today, let me show you what automation really does, and more importantly, what it doesn't. Walking down the hotel aisle, taking the elevator, checking out, and waiting for rest of my crew and our pickup to arrive. Moments like these are quiet and they give you time to think because before any automation takes over in the cockpit, it's always the human that prepares, plans, and decides. Once the crew is here, it's time to head to the airport, and that's where automation really comes into the picture. As usual, it's a four-crew operation. Two captains and two first officers working in two shifts during the flight. On ultra-long haul flights like this, crew augmentation is essential. It allows proper rest in flight and ensures alertness throughout the journey. While we wait for our transport, some mandatory flight-related documents are signed off and the crew briefing gets completed. Roles, expectations, and responsibilities are clearly discussed even before we reach the aircraft. Automation supports us in flight, but coordination, communication, and decision making always begin on the ground. With the crew aligned and paperwork done, it's time to head to the airport. If you're interested in knowing what's actually discussed during the pre-flight crew briefing and how these briefings are conducted in real operations, you can check out a detailed blog of mine where I have covered it step by step. I'll leave the link in the description. Now getting back to our today's topic of discussion. You see, autopilot doesn't actually fly the aircraft by itself. It's designed and programmed to follow commands given by the pilot. The pilot actually tells the aircraft what to do, and the autopilot's job is to execute those commands smoothly, effectively, and efficiently. It doesn't think, it doesn't decide, it doesn't replace the pilot. So the real question isn't whether automation flies the aircraft. The real question is who's commanding it. As we were discussing automation, I have now reached the airport. It was a fairly long drive for about 45 minutes through traffic and rain. Conditions like these remind you that aviation doesn't operate in isolation. Weather, timing, traffic, everything outside the aircraft matters too. Once inside the airport, the focus shifts completely from getting here safely to flying safely. Getting back to our topic again, to keep things simple, automation in an aircraft has two main parts. The first part is the autopilot. It takes commands from the pilot and controls the aircraft's movement, that is left, right, up, and down. In simple terms, It handles steering and flight path control. The second part is the auto-throttle. This also works only on pilot commands. It controls engine power, which in turn controls the speed of the aircraft. And the speed control is extremely crucial because speed affects safety, fuel efficiency, aircraft performance, and everything else. Now, when we talk about speed control, the most critical aspect is maintaining the minimum speed required to keep the aircraft flying. An aircraft needs a certain minimum airflow over its wing to generate lift. If the aircraft is flown below the minimum speed, the wings can no longer produce lift and the aircraft tends to fall off the sky. In technical terms, this condition is called a stall. A stall doesn't mean the engines stop, it means the wings stop producing enough lift because the speed is too low. And this is something pilots are constantly monitoring. And it's exactly where automation, especially the auto throttle, plays a very important supporting role. So, speed isn't just a number, it's one of the most critical parameters in flight. And during the course of this discussion, we have completed our flight crew and cabin crew briefing. Basic flight related performance calculations are done, and all required flight documents have been reviewed. Everything that needs to be discussed on the ground is now aligned. Roles are clear, expectations are set, and with that, we are now headed towards the aircraft. As I complete the external inspection of the aircraft, let's answer three questions I get asked all the time. When is automation preferred? Well, to answer this, automation is preferred during high workload phases of flight. For example, long cruise segments, complex airspaces, bad weather, night operations. In these conditions, automation helps reduce pilot workload and maintains very precise control. It allows pilots to monitor, think ahead, and manage the bigger picture instead of physically flying the aircraft every second. Manual flying is preferred when the conditions are stable, visibility is good, workload is low. It helps pilots stay connected with the aircraft and maintain hands on flying skills. That's why pilots practice manual flying regularly in training and in real operations whenever appropriate. And with this, we have reached San Francisco, and that completes my duty. But the big question still remains unanswered. So, who flies better, pilot or automation? Well, that's a wrong question. Automation is very good at precision and consistency. Pilots are better at judgment, adaptability, and decision making. The safest flight happens when both work together. Automation doesn't replace pilots, and pilots don't compete with automation. Automation is a tool, and like any tool, it works best in the right hands. So that's all for today, guys. If you have found my content informative, do like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. I'll see you all in the next one. Till then, bye bye.